If there's dogs, and there's a couple of people walking their dog ahead there, look, going towards where the farm is. Right, so once again, I don't need to go over the cattle grader and take the dog through here. This is answering all the questions I've got if I do come here with Bay or bring our Shelley and Jessie. Right, so I'll be going past all the wetlands here on the left, but I'll be going over there to the right where those people are, and that's where you take the path to go up into these trees here, and you walk back on yourself right across the top to the mansion. I hear some wildfowl. Oh, there's a couple of geese there, look. They're the ones that's making all the racket. There they go. Morning.
Morning.
It's nice to get out when it's warm and not raining.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right, so the bridge across this swampy flooded area is just further in the corner. It's like the farmers like filled it in and made like a land earth bridge to get across with his tractor to get into the field on the other side of the water. So this is where you see all the bulrushes growing up through the swamp area. I bet you there's hundreds and hundreds of frogs and loads of frogs born here every year because it never dries up. Right. I was expecting a parcel to come today as well, and I thought to myself, should I stay in, wait for it? And I thought, nah, no, I'm not waiting in when I say it's dry. And it's like I say, we're going to get some of the wet stuff later on this afternoon. So I thought, nah, I'm coming out now while it's like this. It's warm now. It was a little bit nippy first thing when I got up and I went out to the car. But I feel great now because I've got a coat on, as well as my thick sweatshirt and t-shirts underneath. I've warmed through now because I've started walking. But where that girl is there with a sweatshirt tied around her waist, that's where you turn right and you go over the stile or through the gate, and then the pathway goes up and through the trees to the top. That's where I'm going next. Right, so you see the metal gate just over there where you can go over the other side. I'm sure I can see there's something white on the water. I don't know if it's a swan, just at the other side of the land bridge. So like I say, normally you see two swans just back there where those geese were. There's one mallard or something just turning its head and pluming its feathers. Mallard, I think, male mallard. But I'm sure this is a swan over there. I'll go over the bridge and have a look. But what I normally do is I go across this bridge here, go up in the farmer's field, turn right and go right at the bottom corner, and there's another big pond area there where loads of the birds come and land, and you hear the noise of the Canadian geese is really, really loud. Yeah, there's a swan. It's coming towards me now. Look, it's just a young one, cygnet, not very old. In fact, it looks more like a female, I think. There's some geese just on the field straight ahead, look. It's 1, 2. So this is a typical landing area for all these wildfowl. You can see them flying over left, right and centre, and then come flying down with a right racket. But sometimes that field is absolutely full of them. Right, I'll not bother going over the land bridge there, but like I say, I go over, turn right, walk along that side, the other side, and drop down the bottom corner where there is another pond, but you can't really see into it properly. It's all like overgrown with these trees, but you can hear and see through blanks where there's no tree branches, so you can see through, and you can see any birds that's landed on the water. It's worth going down and having a look if you're into birds and you like to hear the sound of them trumpeting and courtship dances and stuff. There's a mallard just there's two, male and female, just going making their way through the roots. See, they've got protection in there. So like I say, I thought this road would be access for the farmer to get to his farm, which is here, just at the end here, at the T-junction. There's some people come back out the farm area. That area over there must all be flooded as well, because it's got the big tufts of grass, which means there's water underneath. Reeds. The last time I went along that field as well, when I crossed the land bridge, went along the farmer's field, I looked across the other side of the water, and a bird of prey's got its nest built in one of the high trees. Look, you know, you see all the twigs that they join together to make the nest. There's a huge one. Tried all kinds to get closer to the water at this end and all, trying to get a closer view of any of the birds that was on the big pond area at the back of these trees here, but it's all barbed wire fence in the corner and bits of climb over this, that and other, but it's difficult for me, so I've just got to go and get where I can and then come away. So as you can see, it's quite a stretch where the wetlands start from. There's like 3 birds just taking off from the water, coming up into the trees there. Here they come. 3 male mallards. Coming back down, they'll be landing again soon. But you often see the Canadian geese flying over and trumpeting away, really noisy. Right, I cannot wait. I need another way now. Right, anybody coming along? Nah. So you see the barbed wire fence over there on the far side there at the end of the bit of grass. Well, you can go to that and look over into the waters area, but you can see the trees blocking the way. It's hard to see any of the wildfowl birds on the water because it's all those thickets blocking the view. All right. I'm sure I've been out of that gate or through the gate and went round trying to get a better view of the birds on the water, but it's difficult from what I remember anyway. Well, there's the farm outbuildings just coming into view there now, and I think the house is just beyond that again. Yeah, there's the house, I thought so. And this is the driveway to get into there. So basically, like I say, one back there which is private, no vehicles. The only vehicles that do come along here is the people that live at that farm. That big farm cottages up along there. But this is where I'm going to be turning right now. Then you bear right off the road and start going up the tree line, which once again is a nice walk through the trees. Right, so here's the where you get in, look. Climb over turnstile. Right, there's the outbuildings and the farm cottage along the end of the road there. So obviously people weren't closing the gate behind them, so they actually came up with this big log here to stop opening the gate, so you've got to climb over the turnstile, which is hard for me, like. It's a bloody high one. Oh. Right. Here. Right. Right. So you just got to follow this path up and round, gently going uphill as you go. And then you come out like a bit of a gate turnstile type thing at the top, and there's a house there. You turn right there and start dropping back down the road, which is starts taking you back towards where the mansion is, the Croxdale Hall estate. So I'm just thinking, can I get the dog under there or through the, I'll have to have gone back. I'm forgetting about getting dogs along here. I should be able to get them underneath that gap. Yeah, if I climb over, pull his lever through the bottom and just pull him and say, come on son, hopefully you'll be able to squeeze underneath. If not, I'll have to just force him and tell him to jump, but I don't like him jumping over fences. Alright, up we go. So this just gently goes up and up and up and up and up. But you're knackered when you get to the top. It's just a typical forestry track going through the trees, full of acorns that's dropped off the trees on the bottom. You hear the birds over there. Bluebells. There's some over there as well, and some over there. So in full bloom, it's nice to walk through here, you know, when you've got all the different flowers growing. Well, on my YouTube channel, because I had to start again after the shut down my main one, where I had 2,400 videos on it, but it's just starting again. I'm round about 836 now, after starting up this one that I'm doing now, called Steve in capital letters, hiking hack. It was the last one that I had started again when they closed down my main account, was called Water Palaver, and I started putting videos up on that and accumulating more and more and more. And then one particular day I went to log in, and it says don't recognise your password and shit, so I had to start again and make another one, which I'm using now, one called Steve. And obviously YouTube are still censoring people like they did. I mean, not as bad as they were before. I always keep getting community guideline bullshits all the time, and the warnings like one strike, you know, that crap. Oh, yeah. Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you going back the way you came? You can do a big circuit, you know, go back to the big mansion if you go across the road here. I just want to go through the... Alright, no problem. Oh, her face. Oh, no, 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 no. Right, miserable cow. You just try and be helpful. I mean, if I'm out in an area that I'm not quite sure about, and people stop to give me advice and help, I don't turn my nose up and say, oh no, no, blah, 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 blah. I say, oh, thank you very much, blah, 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 because they're saving you legwork and either go in the wrong direction so far before you realise you're going in the wrong direction. So I invite people to tell me where you can go and what shortcuts you can have. Costing out to be nice. Now I'm sure I can feel little droplets. Very fine at the moment. I see a dog running through the trees, so someone's coming this way with a dog. Yeah, just run. There he is, or she. I'm not quite sure yet. That's coming down this way. Hey, are you going to come and say hello? Come on. Howie, come and say hello. Come on. Good boy, eh? Good boy, yeah. Hey. Good boy. Morning. Right, so this is where you start going up and round, and then eventually you start to see the house up on the top corner there. I think this is the steepest part of the pathway going up towards the house. Yeah, I'm definitely getting little spots of the wet stuff, so yeah, I'll have to just make my way around the circle. I'll go back to the Croxdale Hall, and then just cut up past that house where you first come in, and then go along Sunderland Bridge Street and go back to the back of the car after crossing the road, the main road, and just start driving back. And that'll be enough for me. Nice bit of exercise in the quiet, peaceful woods. I think me and Jimmy first come up here in 2018, maybe at the beginning of 2018, I think it was, running about there. But I think I had Con with us, he was still alive then. Oh, this tree across the path snapped off 20 foot up. Right, so I'm trying to remember, I've got the cap, I've got my camera attached to my cap, so I'm trying not to turn round to look at anything quickly all the time, because it drives you nuts trying to watch the video back. And if the camera's all out of the shop, it hurts your eyes eventually. Right, so that's trees completely snapped off from there, look. Yeah, I'm looking up in the sky now and I see bits of water coming down through the tree canopy. But I'm nearly at the top now, where the house is. But this is where you walk along the tree line. After I pointed the camera up, when I was going past the wetlands at the bottom, I says I'll be going back along the tree line at the top on the road. That's what you do. And it takes you back to where that hall is. The big grounds. So people, if this is the kind of walk you like doing, going through the trees, nice and quiet, and listen to the birds, every different kind of bird.